went to Catholic schools, kindergarten through sixth grade, and then I went to public school for sports. Started playing sports in sixth grade. It was a good upbringing. Mom and dad still married. I have one younger sister. Growing up, the early years was good. I remember a lot of family times, a big Italian family, so a lot of Sunday dinners and holidays and stuff like that. So that was always fun. Lived in a small town in Ohio. Grew up right on Lake Erie, so we spent a lot of summers at the lake, boating and different things like that. As I got older, more into high school, I started to rebel a little bit. Parents were pretty strict. Wasn't allowed to do much, and I had a lot of my friends were all single family homes, so they were allowed to do a lot more or get away with a lot more than I was. So I would have to lie, cheat, steal, do anything I could to get away with what I wanted to do. So that kind of, at a young age, I learned how to get what I wanted when I wanted it. And once I figured that out, sky was the limit. So, but yeah, as I got into high school, I played sports. Everything was good up until my senior year when sports kind of ended. I was 18. I was a little bit older, so I moved out of my parents' house, still in high school. Moved in with some buddies, and when I went to school, I was under the influence of drugs and alcohol, and barely graduated from high school. Had ended up graduating by the skin of my teeth. Ended up going to the University of Toledo for my freshman year, and again, it was a smaller university, and I decided to rush a fraternity. With my background, wasn't a very good idea. A lot of drinking, a lot of drugs. So I was introduced to more harder drugs in college. So I went there for a year, and then I transferred to Ohio State. That's where a lot of my friends were. Bigger campus, bigger college, bigger parties. And there was probably 2 years that I spent there partying, going to school part-time and partying, and I ended up dropping out for a year, and I ended up checking into a rehab. Had gotten into some trouble at college and overdosed. Woke up in the emergency room and overdosed on pills, alcohol, and cocaine. And then so I woke up in the hospital, had my stomach pumped, and then from there they took me straight to a rehab facility. I was inpatient. I was inpatient for 6 months in the hospital, and then there was a three-quarter-way house or a sober house that was on campus that I lived in for another probably about another 3 months. Then I moved back home with my parents and lived there for about 2 months. So I had almost a year under my belt of sobriety, and decided to go back to Ohio State to graduate. I thought I had it under control. A lot of my friends were gone and already graduated, so I didn't really know a lot of people. I had my own place off campus, so I wasn't really partying a lot. Shortly after getting back, it ended up, finding the same type of people that I hang out with. I was a dry drunk for a while, hanging out in the bars, watching, and being the designated driver. But shortly after that, that led me back to drinking, and I was right back where I was before. A couple months later, got a DUI on campus. Spent the night in jail, and then I had to fill out. It was my last quarter or last semester at Ohio State. So before I could graduate, I had to go in front of the disciplinary board and write an essay, and there was a big, long, drawn-out process of stuff that I had to do before I could graduate. So that made things a lot harder on me graduating. Ended up graduating. I didn't walk. I just took my diploma, which I regret because I don't have that memory, I guess. I would probably do a lot of things over again if I had the opportunity to. I loved college. It was great. I graduated. Again, it was tough, but I did graduate. After college, I moved back to my small town and ended up dating a girl. We were dating for a while, ended up getting engaged. Her and I got married in Ohio, and then we moved out here. We were only married for a short time. As we moved out here, that didn't really work because of, again, drinking and drugging really messed that up, and she ended up walking away from our relationship. About a couple months ago, we actually talked for the first time in a while, about 10 years, and kind of had it was I was able to make some amends and kind of get some things figured out, and it was really good. It was a really good opportunity for me, and I hope for her too. So.
And what did you guys talk about?
Well, we just talked about really like me, the reason why she left. Again, I knew it was, drugs and alcohol, but a lot of it was also just attitude, walking on eggshells, and just trying to, I thought she was happy. She wasn't happy. I thought we were happy in our relationship, and it wasn't really, wasn't working. So the communication wasn't there. So something I'm trying to work on now is more of the communication, talking a little bit more about things and not really, stuffing it like I used to. It's just, I've fast forward now, 39 years old. I've got a 6-year-old daughter, and being a single dad and a parent to a little girl, it really opened up my eyes probably about, 3 years ago. I decided 2 years ago I decided to quit drinking. I got sober, and a big part of it was because I wasn't a good role model for my little girl, and the world that we live in really scares me. And I know how I was raised and the things that I saw growing up and the things that I remember now as a child, and I just don't want her to have to go down that same road. So I'm trying to do everything I can to just keep her safe and away from that. And so, I found Pure Heart about 2 years ago. So I got sober February 18th of 2019. I got baptized here at Pure Heart March 17th of 2019. I was pretty much at my wit's end. I had been on a bender, and I woke up and had wrecked my car, and the garage door was open. My bumper was hanging off. And I was just scared. I didn't know what happened. I was blacked out. I'm checking the news. I'm on the internet. I'm looking at social media. I'm going through my GPS, my text messages, trying to figure out, what happened. So as in the meantime, this is all going on, I'm starting to sober up a little bit, and I'm starting to, kind of remember, what happened. So it turns out, I remember being on the 17, and I ran out of gas getting off at an exit, and I somehow got out of the car and pushed my vehicle to a gas station. On the way there, I ran it into the guardrail, and that's how the bumper came off. And I'm thinking, and I'm just, to this day, I still don't know who it was or what it was, but I vaguely remember somebody there with me at the gas station. And the only thing I can think of, it was my guardian angel, somebody that was there helping me, because I made it home safe. I didn't hurt myself. I didn't hurt anybody else. And the condition that I was in was not good. So, thank God that I didn't kill anybody or myself. When I finally started to sober up a little bit, I realized that, my little girl needs a dad. I want to be in her life, and I know I'm a big part of her life, and it was just starting to scare me a little bit, because I know that the way that I should either be dead in prison or, not around, not a responsible parent. So I made the decision that day to, figure out, this has got to be it. I called a family friend of mine who told me to go to rehab, and I said I can't miss work. And then she said, go check yourself into detox, and again I denied that because I didn't want to miss work. And then she told me, she goes, well, you'll look up Pure Heart Church, get on their website. They've got these groups on Monday nights, and see if you can find something that works for you. So I got online, got on the website, found the Monday night men's recovery group, and I let my work know that I was going to be leaving early that day, and I ended up showing up to the men's Monday night group. And actually, I walked in there, and I'd been in AA before, court ordered, all that stuff that I gotten into as a kid. And I never really fit in. I was younger than all of them. They were all old timers. I just felt like I didn't fit in with them. So when I walked into that Monday night group, I saw a bunch of different, ages, sizes, tattoos, no tattoos. I felt like I really fit in into that group. And Jason Maines was one of the first guys that came up and talked to me. And he introduced himself, and I introduced myself to him, and just got to talking a little bit. And there's probably, I would say, maybe it was kind of early, so there's probably like 10, 15 people in the room at that time. And we were talking, and everybody was kind of talking amongst themselves. And he got a chair, put it in the center of the room, and asked if I mind if they prayed for me. So I said no. I need all the prayers I can get. That's why I'm here. And they all came over me and put hands on me and just started praying for me. And I instantly, right there, I feel like that the alcohol was really removed from me. I got all hot. I kind of, started crying, the snot bubbles and all that stuff, and dropped to my knees and just, I was just done. It was a great feeling. That day I decided that, I was going to join the softball team. So I played it for the Pure Heart softball team. I signed up for that. I started going to church on Sundays. Started going to Ironman on Saturday mornings, and just really plugged in as much as I could. I knew I was in a good place, and I knew I wanted what those guys had. So I was trying to do whatever I could to get it. And so I kind of latched on to probably about 4 or 5 guys' coattails, and just kind of did what they did. For me, it wasn't really hard because I was ready to be done, and I saw the big picture. I wanted to be a good dad, and I didn't want to be the dad that I had, and I saw that that's where I was going. So I really worked hard. I did the man camp. Really enjoyed doing that. Just really enjoyed coming to Pure Heart, and the people here, listening to Pastor Dan, be real up there. It just really helped me get through a tough time that I was going through. And again, I've been sober now for 2 years from alcohol, and I thought everything would be peaches and cream, everything's going to be great. Well, now I know why I drank alcohol, because I have other issues that I need to work on, and there's a whole bunch of those things that I'm still trying to deal with today.
What were some of the things that you felt like alcohol kind of masked?
Depression, anxiety, insecurities, just when I drank, I was that, you hear that was that legend in my own mind. I was just, I didn't care about anything or anybody. So I think it just made me somebody that I wasn't. And then, same thing with, the cocaine, same thing. I feel, I'm a god, almost. And it was just, and I just treated people bad, and I was killing myself. My body was going through it. It was, the end for me was dead or in prison, and I didn't want any of that stuff. So I just continued to, work my program. I had some ups and downs while I was doing that. I worked on my steps. We did a step group on Monday night, so I was able to get through my steps, doing those with a group of other men from the Monday night group. That was really beneficial to me. And then I started. Then I got the opportunity to actually start working here at Pure Heart in the fitness center. Pastor Todd gave me the opportunity to come over here and train. Like I said, I've been in the industry for a really long time, and when COVID happened, I was furloughed from EOS Fitness and ended up coming over here, and it started off just training my own personal clients, and then as it got as COVID kind of came to an end, it got more into training the staff members, and really enjoy that, giving back and helping others. This church saved my life, so this is an opportunity for me to kind of give back a little bit and help others that, I can share my knowledge and experiences that I've had in fitness and with my story. But also on the other side, I hear a lot of other stories and a lot of other testimonies from really good people that have been with this church for a really long time, and somebody for me that's so new. I ask a lot of questions, and I want to learn, and I still want what these people have, and what I'm learning now is it's always going to be a work in progress, and I just need to learn to slow down. And
So when you came to the Monday night group the first time, what were you a person of faith? And you had an upbringing, but what was?
So I was raised Catholic. I believed. I'm a believer. Always was a believer, but I didn't go to church. I didn't really pray. I prayed the ritual prayers that Catholics pray. But where I am today to where I was then, I didn't understand a lot. I still don't understand a lot about, the Bible and Scripture. And I just know that, the first time I went to church on that Sunday, being up, listening to Pastor Dan, preach and hearing him be real and raw was something that I could relate to. And it just really, it really resonated with me because I got it, I feel like a lot of times when I was, at services, as a young kid, I didn't pay attention because it didn't interest me, so I was just pretty much there. So, I love worshiping, that's awesome. That's one of my favorite things to do is worship. I even changed the music that I listen to. I don't listen to, the hardcore hip hop, rap, any of that stuff anymore. It's worship music. And it's really cool, to be driving in the car and, you got worship music playing and next thing you know, my daughter's in the back, singing it out loud too, So I know I'm doing something right. I just like I said, before, I'm really working on slowing down and learning patience. I want everything right now, and I got to realize that it's not going to all happen right now. But I'm just very thankful that I'm not where I used to be anymore.
Was there a moment that a church service or a moment where you felt like you really made a choice and accepted Christ?
I mean, it's hard to think back. I just know that when I would go to church on Sundays, I would go to it was the 10:15 service that I would always go to, and I know that there was I wouldn't leave a Sunday without having tears in my eyes, and they weren't always sad tears, it was happy tears, and there was just tears just because I didn't know what they were for, so I don't think there was really just one experience. I just think that it was just the way that I felt, and I've never really cried for no reason before, my upbringing was men don't cry, but when I had these tears coming out of my eyes and I just didn't know what they were for, it was just like, I don't know, it was neat. So
what are the things that keep you sober now?
Right now, I'm big into working out, so that really keeps me on a plan. I'm the type of person that has to have structure. If I don't have structure, I kind of go sideways a little bit. So I do like to have kind of a plan each day of what I'm doing, and working out helps me stay on that plan. I feel if I don't work out, sometimes I feel like, let's say what's Tuesday I didn't work out, and I almost felt a little bit guilty because I didn't get a chance to do do my routine and stuff like that. So that's probably one of the biggest things that keeps me sober. I stay in the Word. I do my morning meditation and devotions. Every morning I spend about a half hour, doing that. And I'm still learning a lot of that, trying to slow down and actually spend time with God instead of just checking off tasks. So I'm trying to do that a little bit better. Going to the Monday night group. Once my daughter gets out of school at the end of the month, I'll be back to the Monday night group. Right now, she has gymnastics on Monday night, so I haven't been there this month. But that is a big deal too. That helps me stay sober. Just getting around other guys that are like-minded and just listening to their stories and their struggles. So that really helps. And then as a trainer, my clients, I talk with them a lot about different things, and everybody's got something going on. So it might not be alcohol, it might be something else, and it's really what I like about what I do is, I can bounce ideas off of other people bounce ideas off of me, and it's really nice to kind of just, get ideas from others. So those are probably the big things. My daughter, wanting to be a good dad, that's huge. And I know that for me, I can't be a good dad if I'm drinking and doing drugs.